Okay, we're going to start on two red springs, two medium springs, and we're going to be lying on our back, both feet on the bar, both heels on the bar to start off with. Feet about hip distance apart, knees about hip distance apart. And before we start moving the carriage, just make sure your belly button is drawn in, lower back and rib cage are flat, and then we'll start moving the carriage by straightening and bending the knees. Equal pressure between left and right foot each time you push away, and also try and use your stomach muscles to help move the carriage away each time. Just make sure to keep breathing throughout the exercise. Try not to hold the breath for too long at any stage. Try not to stop the carriage for too long either. And we'll go for 5 more on the heels. Then we're going to drop down to the toes on the bar and balls of the feet on the bar. Same exercise really, feet hip distance apart, knees hip distance apart. This time we'll allow you to bend the knees a little bit more so you'll be able to bring the carriage in a bit closer to the stopper and then push away. Again, equal pressure left and right foot. And again, try and use your stomach muscles to help move the carriage away each time. And we'll go for 10 more on the toes. And 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next time out, we'll keep the knees straight. Bring both feet side by side. Stay on the toes. We're going to go into a walking action. Every second leg, dropping the heel underneath the bar. Should feel a stretch into the calf each time you drop the heel underneath the bar. See if you can push the heel a little bit lower every time to go a bit further with the stretch. I'm just trying to loosen up the ankles, stretching out the calves at the lower part of the leg. And then we'll just hold it in the stretch for about 5 seconds. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just try and push the heel a little bit lower underneath the bar. Try and go a fraction further with the stretch as you breathe out. And then we'll change the opposite leg on the bar. As you breathe out again, just see can you push the heel underneath the bar as far as possible. For the next exercise, we're going to stay on the toes, but just go on to single leg. So right foot stays in the centre of the bar, left knee up into tabletop position. First time in, the left leg was over the bar. Second time in, the left leg was under the bar. And we'll do every second one over and under. Just be careful you don't bang your foot as you slide underneath the bar. And we'll keep this one going for 10 more. We'll do 20 on each leg. Again, breathe with each movement. Try and use your stomach muscles to help move the carriage away each time as well. And just 2 more. And then carefully change legs. Left foot centre of the bar, right knee in tabletop position. First time in, right foot goes over the bar. Second time in, right foot under the bar. And again, keeping the carriage moving, not stopping for too long at either end. Keep breathing throughout the exercise. And last 5 reps on this one. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we'll do another stretch. This time the heels are pressed against the bar, both knees straight. Bring your right ankle across onto left knee. Keep the lower back flat for this one. And then slowly let the carriage all the way in until you feel a stretch on the outside of the right hip. Then you can use your right hand to push the knee forward to get a bit more out of it. Again, take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, just see can you bring the carriage in a little bit further. Try and go a bit more with the stretch. After 10 seconds, we can change. Left ankle onto right knee. Keep the back flat on the carriage again. Slowly in as far as possible. Then use your left hand to get a bit more out of the stretch. Deep breath in. On the exhale, see if you can let the carriage go a little bit more. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, before we go into our bridge exercise, we start with both heels on top of the bar, keeping the shoulders on the carriage and just rock the knees from side to side. We'll do just about 3 rocks to each side, trying to go a little bit further every time to loosen up the lower back. When we have 3 on each side done, we roll up or peel the spine up off the carriage into bridge position and roll the spine back down. So start with the pelvis, tilt it backwards, peel the spine slowly inch by inch up into a bridge. From the top, roll the spine back down. Try and use your stomach muscles as much as possible for this exercise. You don't want to push up too forcefully with the heels. So be light through the feet, focus on the stomach muscles doing the work. And we'll do 5 roll-ups. For this one, I breathe in on the way up. Breathe out as you roll down. And we're trying to move each vertebra one by one as you come up. And the same as you roll down. Starting from the top, roll each vertebra one by one back down. The 5th time up then, we'll hold it at the top position. Keep the belly button drawn in. Try not to let the hips drop from where they are now. And then we'll move the carriage slowly in and out for 10 on 2 legs. Breathe with each movement. Keeping the hips up the whole time. Keeping a small little bit of tension in the stomach area the whole time as well. We'll go for 5 more on 2 legs. Two more. And then we'll hold the bridge position in close to the stopper. Now we're going to try single leg. Slide your right heel into the centre of the bar, take the left leg off fully, both knees side by side to start with, both hips level, and we'll go for 10 in and out on the one leg. Get the left leg moving also. Bring the left knee to chest in, push the carriage away, left foot forward as the carriage goes forward. And again, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Carefully change legs. Right leg comes off, both knees side by side, both hips level again before you start. In and out for 10. Breathe with each movement. Keep the hips up off the carriage the whole time and try and keep the hips level. Good, 3 more on this side. Now we're going to go back to the first leg. So right heel goes centre of the bar again. This time the left knee in tabletop position. Fold the arms so we're not using our elbows to assist. We're trying to keep the carriage steady for this exercise. We're going to drop the hips down, touch your lower back off the carriage, and then squeeze the glutes at the back of the right hip to lift back up. And we'll do 5 single leg bridges up and down, keeping the carriage as steady as possible. Try and get the glutes working at the back of the hip each time you lift up. And on the 5th one then, we'll change legs at the top. Left heel goes onto the bar, right knee in tabletop position. Slowly drop the hips down, touch your lower back off the carriage. Squeeze the glutes at the back of the left hip to lift back up. And again doing 5 on each side. And relax. When we have those done, we can leave the arms down by our sides again. We're going to do a stretch where you let both knees hang out over the top of the bar. Bring the 2 hands behind the right knee. First part of the stretch, we're just straightening and bending the knee 5 times. Try and go a little bit further with the stretch each time. Try and go a little bit straighter with the knee each time. And on the 5th one then, keep the legs straight. Lift your head and shoulders up towards your knees. Slide the hands closer to your ankle and pull the leg in towards you. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, see if you can bring the leg back a little bit further into the stretch. After 10 seconds, relax it off. We can rest the head and shoulders down. 2 hands behind the left knee, straighten and bend it again for 5. See if you can push the leg a little bit straighter each time you go into the stretch. On the 5th one then, keep the leg straight, lift the head and shoulders up towards your knees, slide the hands closer to your ankle, pull the leg in towards you. And on the exhale, see if you can go back a little bit further again. And relax it off after 10 seconds. Okay, next set of exercises, we'll do a few in the leg straps. So if you can reach behind, grab the bigger loops, bring both feet into the bigger loops. We're going to start with a simple leg press exercise, both feet together, both knees bent. Try and have the ropes just above the kneecaps the whole time. Try and keep your lower back fairly close to the carriage, belly button drawn in, and we're just doing straightening and bending the knees. Push forward with both feet together, straighten the knees fully, bend the knees, bring the feet back in. For this one, I breathe in as the knees come in, breathe out as you push away. And we'll keep it going for 15 leg presses in this first one. 5 more. Next time out then, we'll keep the knees straight. We're still looking to keep the back flat. Going to come up a little bit with straight knees, push back down with straight knees. Breathe in as the legs come up, breathe out as you push down. Should feel a nice stretch at the back of the thighs, back of the knees when you get to the top position. See if you can go a fraction higher each time, just to get a little bit more of a stretch in. For the next 5 then we'll do circles from the top. So small circles, bring the feet out to the side, push downwards, join the feet together at the bottom. Again, keeping the back flat or fairly close to the carriage. And for the last 5 we'll go the opposite direction. So starting from the bottom, bring the feet apart, join them together at the top. And relax it off. Okay, the next set of exercise we're going to do is in the arm strap. So we can take the bigger loops off, bring our hands into the smaller loops, and if you can, just reach down and take off one of the red springs. We're going to leave just one red spring on for this set of exercises. Starting position, if you could, just shut it out a little bit so you're not too close to the shoulder pads. Both hands are in the smaller loops, hands directly above the shoulders, elbows straight, both knees directly above the hips. And before we start, just again, draw the belly button inwards, try and engage your deeper stomach muscles, try and keep the lower back and rib cage flat. First exercise, straight arms all the way down inside the pockets, slowly back up to shoulder level. Breathe out as you push down, breathe in as the arms come back up. Try not to be too forceful with the push down with the arms. Focus more on drawing the belly button in towards the spine. Try and use your stomach muscles to help each time you push downwards with the arms. And we're looking to breathe out as you push down, breathe in as the arms come back up. Just as far as around shoulder level is good. Again, keeping the carriage moving the whole time, not stopping for too long at either end. We're going to keep going with the same arm movements, but we're going to add in a little bit of coordination. We're going to add in every second leg going forward. As you push down with the hands, one leg stretches in front, slowly back to tabletop position to the start. Second time you push down, opposite leg stretches in front, and slowly back. And we'll do 5 more. Every second leg. Tightening the stomach area a little bit more as you stretch the leg out in front. Straighten the knee fully, stretching the foot over the top of the bar. And relax. We come back to tabletop position. This time we're going to try our sit-ups. So remember with the sit-ups, we want to lift our shoulders off the carriage each time. We're going to push down with the hands, lift the shoulders up, crunch the stomach muscles at the top, slowly back down. Breathe out as you come up into the sit-up. Breathe in as you drop back down. Tuck your chin in towards your chest and try and lift your shoulders each time. So you're not straining neck muscles and you're using the stomach muscles more to do the work. We'll keep it going for 10 sit-ups. The slower the better. And then we're going to hold the top position. Now we're going to try our first set of pulses, or hundreds. So for the hundreds, you're looking to just the hands moving. We're trying to keep the carriage steady. Both hands up and down, keeping the shoulders up the whole time if we can. For the next set of 10, we're going to go right leg out over the top of the bar. Keep breathing throughout the exercise. Keep moving the hands up and down. Switch to the left leg for 10. Bring both knees back in so you can get the shoulders a little bit higher for 10. And we'll go right leg again. And left leg. And now we'll try both legs for the last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. For the next one, we can keep the head and shoulders rested. It's going to be an exercise that you do for the triceps. Elbows tucked in close to your rib cage, rested down on the carriage, elbows bent to 90 degrees. Bring the knees up into tabletop position at 90 degrees as well. Belly button drawn in. We're going to add in a little bit of coordination as well on this one. As you push down with both arms, straighten the elbows fully, stretch one leg forward, slowly back to the start position. So remember, slowly return to the start so that you're working in both directions. For this one, we're looking to breathe out as you push down with the hands. Breathe in as you come back slowly. Try and engage stomach muscles as well. Draw the stomach muscles inwards every time you push down with the hands, and as you stretch the leg out front. And just 4 more on this. And 2 more. And relax. Okay, we're going to shuffle a bit away from the shoulder pads again if we've gotten close, because we're going to practice a few more sit-up variations. First sit-ups, we're just going to do 5 of the regular sit-ups like we did earlier. Knees in tabletop position, hands directly above the shoulders. Push down, lift your shoulders up, crunch the stomach at the top. Slowly back down. 1, 2, breathe out as you come up each time. 3, 4. On the 5th one then we're going to hold the top position, keep the shoulders up. This time it's arms only, we're going to lift the arms up to shoulder level, push the arms back down. Breathe in as the arms come up, breathe out as you push down. Good, 2 more with the arms only. And then finish with the hands down beside the pockets, not resting on the carriage, just an inch off. Next one's going to be a leg movement, straight legs out in front over the top of the bar, straight legs up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the legs out straight. Last 5 is just the arms again. Straight arms up to shoulder level, straight arms back down. Breathe in as the arms come up, breathe out as you push down. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and relax. Excellent, we're going to change position for the next few exercises, so you can hook the big loops back on to the hooks behind the shoulder pads. Take your time getting back up off the carriage. To get set up for the next few exercises, we can lower down to 1 glute spring, 1 leg spring, and then lower the bar down to the very end position. First exercise we'll do here after lying flat is just one to loosen up the spine. Start with the hands flat beside the shoulder pads, knees at the opposite end of the carriage, and it's going to be our cat camel stretches where you lift up in the middle, looking towards your legs, drop down in the middle, look towards the wall in front. Breathe in as you lift up, breathe out as you drop down. Now we do 5 cat camel stretches to loosen up the spine. When we have 5 done, we'll stay on all fours, keep the back flat. For this one, bring your right hand up to touch right ear. Tip your right elbow in off your left elbow. Twist all the way around, point the right elbow up to the ceiling. We do 5 rotations to the right. See if you can go a little bit further each time you turn. Good, when we've 5 done, we'll swap hands, the left hand to left ear. Tip the left elbow off the right elbow. Twist all the way around, point the left elbow up to the ceiling. And 2 more. Good, we're going to do 2 arm exercises on all fours as well. So same starting position. For the first one, we'll grab the very end of the long strap with the left hand. So you're holding the outside of the loop. You don't need to put your hand through the loop for this one. Press your left elbow into your rib cage. Keep it pressed in there the whole time. You're going to start with the elbow at 90 degrees. Push back, straighten the elbow fully. Slowly bend back to 90 degrees. Breathe out as you push back. Breathe in as you slowly return to the start position. So remember, working in both directions. If the arm starts to get a little bit tired, try and use your stomach muscles, use your core muscles more to help. Tighten the stomach muscles to help as you push back each time. 3 more pushbacks on this side. Okay, we're going to stick with the same arm. We're going to do another arm exercise. This time put your left hand through the bigger loop. Place it beside the carriage at shoulder pad level, palm of the hand facing backwards. Keep the elbow straight for this one. Push back, finish with the palm of your hand facing the ceiling. Slowly lower down to the start position. And again, we're going to go for 10 pushbacks. Use your core muscles to help each time you push back. Slow and control as you return to the start position so that you're working in both directions. And again, we're going to do 3 more. Good, tightening the stomach muscles if the arm is getting tired. And relax that side when we have 10 done. We're going to do the same too with the right arm. So again, the first one, you just need to hold the outside of the longer loop. You don't need to put your hand through it. Elbow tucked in by your side, keep it tucked in there the whole time, and then straighten your belly slowly for 10 pushbacks. Breathe out as you push back, breathe in as you slowly return to the start position. And we'll go 5 more on this one. Use the stomach muscles to help each time you push back. Next exercise, we're going to bring our hand in through the bigger loop, place it beside the carriage at shoulder pad level, palm of your hand facing backwards, push back, finish with the palm of your hand facing the ceiling, slowly lower down to the start position. Good, last 3 to get 10 in. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to try a couple of plank variations. Hands in a similar position, but just with the fingertips over the sides of the carriage, so up near the shoulder pads. Both feet then wrapped around the edge of the timber so you've got a bit of grip. Carefully lift the knees off, push the heels back over the timber so that they're secure, and then slide the carriage forward so you're in plank position. Before we start moving, draw in the stomach muscles, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then just start rocking the carriage using your hands only. Breathe with each movement. Try not to put too much pressure down through your hands. Focus more on keeping strong in the middle. And for the last 5 rollouts, if you want to challenge yourself, just see can you roll the hands out a little bit further, but you're still looking to keep the legs and the trunk really steady. Just the hands moving in and out. Remember, breathe with each movement again. And when we have those 5 done, carefully bring the carriage in, drop the knees back onto the right mat. The next hand position, similar, but it's back closer to where your knees are, just in front of where your knees are. Again, fingertips over the sides of the carriage. Carefully lift the knees off, bring the carriage forward into a plank position again. This time you don't want the hands moving. We're going to bend the knees to bring the carriage in. Straighten the knees, slide the carriage forward. Breathe in as the carriage comes in. Breathe out as you slide forwards. Again, try not to put too much pressure down through your hands for this one. Focus on keeping strong in the middle. Try and keep your back flat and parallel to the floor the whole time. Make sure to breathe with each movement. And just 2 more on this one. And again, carefully drop the knees back onto the right mat. The final plank variation we'll do in this position will be on our elbows. Hands go between the shoulder pads, elbows and forearms on the carriage. Again, carefully lift the knees up, bring the carriage forward. Before we start moving, squeeze the shoulder blades together, draw the belly button inwards. And like the first variation, we're just going to roll the carriage using your elbows only. So your trunk and legs stay really steady, just the elbows moving. We'll go for 10 more. If you want to challenge yourself, see if you can roll the elbows out a little bit further each time. Good, breathe with each movement. Last 5. And then carefully bring the carriage in, rest the knees again. Okay, for the next exercise we're going to go on all 4s again, but this time your knees are a good bit closer to where the shoulder pads are. Try not to have your pressing against the shoulder pads. You want to have a bit of a distance between where your knees and the shoulder pads are. Hands for this one out on the tracks. Good bit in front of your shoulders to start off with. Then the start position we're looking for. Pull the carriage forward, stop when your shoulders are directly above your hands. Hips directly above knees, lower back flat. Tighten in the stomach muscles and loosen the grip with the fingers so you're not holding on too tight with your hands. First variation we're going to try is just the knees moving. Knees in, knees out. And as you can see, my shoulders and back don't move too much. Again, breathe with each movement. Try and use your lower stomach muscles to help every time you bend the knees to bring the carriage in. We'll do 3 more on this variation. And then we're going to hold the start position again. Hips directly above knees, shoulders directly above hands. This time we're going to let the shoulders go back a couple of inches. Tighten the stomach muscles, pull the carriage forward, pull the shoulders forward. Again, keeping the hands loose, so you're not gripping too tight, you're not pulling with the hands. Breathe again with each movement. And we'll go for 5 more on this. Focus on the stomach muscles. Initiate the movement each time you pull the carriage forward. The slower we can do it, the better. And use your hands or fingers as little as possible. And relax. Excellent. Okay, we're going to try a couple of kneeling variations. The first one we'll do is in the sideways position. Try and have your inside leg away from the shoulder pads if possible. So it will challenge your stability and balance a bit more. Just be careful that you don't lose balance. If you do need that little bit of support, you can have your inside leg pressed against the shoulder pad. Starting position, we're going to sit back on our heels and then with the outside hand grab the bigger loop. We're going to start in a sitting position and then come up into a tall kneeling position, lift the arm out to the side to shoulder level, slowly back down to the start. And we'll go for 10 up and down. So kneeling position, slowly back to a sitting position, up into a kneeling position, bring the arm out to shoulder level. If the arm gets tired or you need a bit of assistance, you can use your opposite hand on the rope to help. And careful in both directions just so you don't lose balance. And relax, we'll do the opposite side, just show you from the back. So again, your inside leg is away from the shoulder pads if possible. Start in a sitting position, grab the bigger loop with the outside hand, and then as you come up into kneeling, lift the arm out to shoulder height, slowly back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, if you need a bit of assistance, you can use your opposite hand on the rope to help. Just give it a little bit of support as you lift out to the side. Use your core muscles to help as well. If the arm gets tired, tighten in the stomach muscles to help as you lift the arm out to the side. And relax again when you've 10 done. Good, we're going to do another couple of arm exercises in sitting and kneeling, which is similar. Big loops again, this time both hands into the bigger loops. Start with the hands beside your pockets, elbows slightly bent and you're sitting on the heels. Then we're going to come up into a tall kneeling position, scoop the hands forward, just below shoulder level, slowly back down to the start position. And we're going to go for 10 up and down. Breathe out as you stretch the hands out in front. Breathe in as you slowly drop down. 5 more. 3 more. And then we're going to hold the top position, hold the kneeling position, but bring your hands back beside the pockets, palms of the hands facing in, squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going to keep the kneeling position for this one, straight arms out in front to shoulder level, slowly back beside the pockets. So you don't need to let the hands go behind the body at any stage. And again, we'll go for 10. For the last 5, if you want, you can add in circles from the top position. So from the top, circles, still finish beside the pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We can leave the straps on the floor for the next part. They might get in the way if they're hooked back on. I'm going to try 2 more plank variations, this time facing the opposite direction with the hands on the timber. Both hands just on the outside of the timber part. Walk the feet up near the top of the carriage. And we're going to start in plank position. Keep the shoulders directly above your hands the whole time. We did it earlier facing the opposite way. We're going to bend the knees, bring the carriage in, straighten the knees, push the carriage back. Breathe in as the carriage comes in, breathe out as you push back. Try and be light through the hands, not too much pressure down through your arms. Focus on keeping strong in the middle. Try and keep back flat and parallel to the floor, as if you're trying to balance a tray across your lower back. And remember, breathe with each movement. And we'll do 3 more in and out on this one. Okay, for the next two, we'll just do a couple of stretches. So for the stretches, we lift the bar up, one notch up from the bottom, both hands on the bar, both feet against the shoulder pads. Sit back onto the heels, push the carriage away, drop the shoulders down. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, see if you can push the carriage away a little bit more. Try and go a little bit further with the stretch. After 10 seconds, relax it off. We're going to bring the right foot forward for the next stretch. Onto the bar if you can. You can do it with the foot on the timber part as well. So either foot position on the bar or the timber. Left foot stays against the shoulder pad. Push the left leg away, straighten the right knee in front. Hold the stretch for 5 seconds. But don't hold the breath. Keep breathing through it. Ease off after 5. And then the second time back, we'll try and go a little bit further. And we'll hold it for 10 seconds. Each time you breathe out, see if you can slide the carriage backwards a little bit more using your left foot. Straighten the right knee a bit more in front. 3, 2, 1. And relax and swap legs. Right foot goes against the shoulder pad, left foot in front of the bar. First time back, you don't need to go too far. Just go till you feel the stretch. Hold it there for 5 seconds. But keep breathing throughout the stretch. Then bring the carriage back in, squeeze out of it. Second time back, see if you can go a fraction more. And again on the exhale, just see if you can go a little bit further with the stretch again. And relax it off. Okay, we'll lower the bar back down and we're going to change it to one red spring. We're going to practice our lunges here. Just need to be careful again with balance on this one. Both feet go on the timber part to start with. Then we'll bring the right foot back behind onto the carriage. Try and stay up on your toes on the right foot the whole time. Keep the heel up off the carriage. Both hands on the hips, shoulders pinned back. And we're going to do lunges down and up. The idea is to try and get the hips as low as possible each time. You can bend the back knee, bend the front knee, and try and keep your front knee directly above the timber part. Then we'll go down and up for 10 repetitions. Keeping the shoulders back, keeping the upper body tall the whole time. So 3 more down and up on this one. And then if you can, hold the bottom position on the last one. This time it's just the back leg moving in and out. So just the right knee straightening and bending. And we'll move the carriage in and out for 10. Front leg stays steady, upper body stays steady. Good, 3 more in and out. And then carefully change legs and swap it over. Left foot goes behind on the carriage. Again, remember the heel is up off the carriage the whole time. You're up on your toes. Shoulders back, upper body tall. Down with the hips. Slowly back to the start position. Good. 5 more down and up on this one. Trying to get the hips as low as possible every time. 2 more. Then hold it at the bottom position on the last one. Just the back knee straighten and bending to move the carriage in and out. And we'll keep that going for 10. If we can, go even lower with the hips for the last 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, carefully step off again. For this one, we could change it. You can keep it on one red spring, or if you want to change it to one green spring to make it a little bit heavier, we're going to do the sideways legs exercises in a squat position. We're going to do both variations, 10 of each. If you could step with the one foot on the timber part first, because I'd say for the opposite foot goes on the carriage, up near the top of the carriage. I sometimes wrap the big toe around the inside edge of the timber just to give it a little bit of grip. Starting position, we're looking for bend both knees, drop the hips down into a low squat position, keep the shoulders back. First variation, it's just the leg on the carriage moving. We're going to be straightening and bending the knee. The leg that's on the timber and the upper body don't move. And we're going to keep that going for 5 more, doing 10 in total. And then we're going to hold the squat position on the last one for a second. Change to the opposite leg, straighten and bend. The leg on the timber now straightens and bends, keeping the hips down low in the squat position the whole time. Good, 3 more. Good stuff. We're going to carefully change the direction we're facing. So we're going to work the opposite leg. 1 foot on the timber, 1 foot on the carriage again. Down into a squat position, low position with the hips. Keep the hips down the whole time. First 10 is just the leg on the carriage, straighten and bending. Try and keep everything else steady. Upper body and the leg on the timber stay really still. The only thing you see moving is the leg on the carriage, straighten and bending. 2 more on this one. And then hold the squat position, change to the opposite leg on the timber, straighten and bends for the last 10. Keeping the hips down low in the squat position the whole time. 5 more. 1. If the legs are getting tired, tighten the stomach muscles to help as you move the carriage sideways. And 2 more. And relax. Carefully step back off. We can leave it on 1 green spring for this one. We're going to practice our scooter exercise. So for this, 1 foot is going to be on the floor, and then the other foot, the heel is against the shoulder pad. You want to try and have both knees almost side by side, or even slightly have the standing knee in front. Small little bend on the standing leg. Pelvis position is important for this one. Tilt the pelvis back, draw in the stomach muscles, keep the back flat. Just go again with hands on hips, keeping the upper body steady. Push back with the left heel. Try and squeeze the glutes at the back of the left hip. Ease off slowly. So remember working in both directions. And remember standing leg and upper body stay really steady. The only thing not moving is the leg in the carriage. And 3 more on this leg. Good. When we tend over the squat, same setup on the opposite side. Small bend on the standing knee. Try and have your standing knee slightly in front of the opposite knee. Pelvis position, tilt backwards, draw in the stomach muscles, keep the back flat. And we're looking to push back with the heel. Try and get the glutes again at the back of the hip working each time you push away. Keep it going for 10. Slow and controlled as you let the carriage forward. And focus on the glutes doing the work as you push the carriage back. And then 3 more. And relax. We can go back down to 1 red spring for the next exercise. And we're going to give the legs a break. We'll go back to 2 arm exercises. So if you could hook the bigger loops back onto the hooks. Again for this one, you're going to try and keep a distance between where your knees are and where the shoulder pads are to challenge your stability, but just be careful of the balance. Both hands are going to be in the smaller loops to start with. Start with the hands just a couple of inches in front of your hips, elbows straight, palms of your hands facing backwards. And then it's going to be squeezing the shoulder blades together to do the exercise. Separate the shoulder blades apart, let the hands come forward. Don't want to push back too forcefully with the hands for this one. Focus mainly on the shoulder blades, especially the lower part of the shoulder blades coming together as you push back each time. Slow and controlled. Don't need to let the hands go forward too much. So if you can see, my hands don't go as far as where the shoulder pads are even. It's more about the backwards movement. And we'll just do 2 more on this first one. And then the second variation, we'll bring our hands into the bigger loops, sit fully back onto the heels, start with the hands beside the knees, hands and hands facing backwards, elbows straight again. This time you will need to use your arms a bit more. Push back with the hands, finish with the hands behind the hips, slowly up to the knees. And because it feels a little bit heavier, tightening the stomach muscles to help each time you push back as well. And for the last 5, we'll just bring the hands as far as mid-thigh and then push back. Makes it a little bit harder in the arms. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. We'll hook the big loops back on, and we're just going to finish by doing a few stretches. Lift the bar up again to the top position, change it back to 1 glute spring, 1 light spring for the stretches. Start with the right foot on the floor, right foot up beside the timber part, right knee in front of the bar, rest the left knee onto the carriage, left foot against the shoulder pad. We're going to push the left leg behind you as far as you can. Keep the right knee bent in front, keep the shoulders tall. Hold that stretch for a few seconds, but don't hold the breath. Keep breathing through it. And then keep in the same leg position, we'll take the outside hand off, the right hand off, and we'll go for 5 big twists around to the right. Follow your hand each time, so you can go a little bit further each time you turn. When we have 5 done, both hands back to the bar. From here, try and straighten the front knee, keeping the foot flat, toes pointing down for the first 10 seconds. As you breathe out, see can you slide the carriage backwards a bit more using your left foot, straighten the right knee a bit more in front. And then for the next 10 seconds, roll back onto the heel, toes up towards the ceiling. Again on the exhale, see can you slide the carriage backwards a little bit more using your left foot, straighten the right knee a bit more in front. 3, 2, 1, and relax. We'll do the same stretches on the opposite side. Left foot up beside the timber part this time, left knee in front of the bar. Push the right leg behind you as far as you can, but keep the left knee forward. Hold in the same leg position, take the left hand off this time, and we'll do 5 big twists around to the left. 2, 3, 4, 5. Both hands back to the bar for the next part. Now we're trying to straighten the left knee, keeping the foot flat, toes pointing down. As you breathe out, try and slide the carriage backwards a bit more using your right foot, straighten the left knee a bit more in front. And then for the very last part, roll back onto your left heel, toes up to the ceiling. Again on the exhale, see if you can push the carriage slightly further away, straighten the left knee a bit more in front.